So I was riding my bike and I decided I'd hop off because I had some things on my mind I want to talk about. You know, we all want to get along. I mean, it's just kind of in our nature to try to get along with other people and to do good and to be good and have good things happen. I mean, that's just kind of one of the points to life, is we want to see good things go down. Not go down, but like go down as in be carried out. Sorry. Semantics. Anyway, I've noticed that so many people are wearing these masks, and I get that it keeps it from going out as far as fast. But I've read that it can hang out in the air for like 26 minutes. So if you're blowing it out and it's on your outside of your mask and you touch something and somebody else touches it, I mean, you're going to spread it. We spread germs all the time. It's just human nature. And for all human history, they've spread germs. But all of a sudden now in 2020, we're so scared we've got to wear masks, right? And really, the masks are not engineered small enough to stop viruses from going through. I mean, you guys have seen the people in labs. They're basically wearing spacesuits. Okay, so unless you're wearing a legit hazmat mask, that ugly thing that you got on your face and nobody can read your lips or see your face, like, it's just a bad fashion statement. And I realized in this, and being at work with people, because I'm a teacher, okay, so this is like day 3 of getting us ready for the new way things are going to be going down this year. I read people's lips way more than I realize. Maybe I don't hear as good as I thought I could, but I can't hardly understand anybody. And I'm the only person out of everybody I work with that's got a plastic face shield. And then comes up in the meeting today that, well, you know, you can wear a face shield, but you got to wear a mask too, but you can leave your nose out. So here's the deal. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm being polite wearing a face shield because I understand that stops it from going forward. But I'm at the point where if you don't like what I'm going to do in that, fire me. Seriously. And the rest of you that think, oh, it's just wear a mask today, it's more than that. It's checking your level of compliance, because the mask doesn't really make sense, especially if you feel good. Okay? If you're asymptomatic, especially, why are you wearing it? We're doing it to protect other people. Well, you know what? If the other people that are vulnerable care about their own well-being, then they should exercise their personal responsibility and choose to socially distance themselves. Shouldn't be the rest of society having to shut itself down. And then when the care and compassion part comes into play, that's when you're taking things to them and you're checking on them, making sure that they're okay and not having contact with them. That's fine. But you can't just shut everything else down because some people may be more at risk to get sick. I found out this summer I am high risk. I have a heart condition, okay? And the doctors have advised me that I need to teach virtually for the first semester at least, to see what more information comes out and if a vaccine comes available and this and that and whatever, okay? But the mask is more than just a mask. It's symbolic. It's a way for the higher powers that be to be able to gauge compliance. How many people are happy little mice that are going along? You get your little breadcrumb and you're going to keep going along. Okay? And the mask is just the first step. I'm going to tell you guys what I see coming down the pipe. What they're going to do is they're going to end up saying you don't have to wear a mask if you have been vaccinated. If you have a certificate of vaccination identification, COVID, right? If you have, that's what it would be, a certificate of vaccination, and then the identification part, that spells COVID, okay? If you have that, now you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to wear your scarlet letter, okay? You'll be all right. You can go out, you can do your thing. But if you won't get that vaccine, you got to keep wearing that mask. And eventually, see, it's a passive aggressive deal. They're slowly ushering people to the edge of the cliff. They're seeing how many people are going to buy in, and everybody's bothered by it. It's a huge deal, this COVID-19 and going back to school. And so I got a few things that I'm going to share with you that I would like to see happen, because folks, if we just keep letting them push, they're never going to stop. They're coming for it all. So you either fight back while we got some power, and you stand up and exercise your cojones. Even if you're a lady, your lady cojones, exercise them suckers, okay? Stop wearing your mask into places. Most people, like I've encountered that are wearing masks that we've talked, when they find out, no, I shouldn't say most people. I've encountered people that didn't even know it wasn't mandatory, especially in Walmart. That first initial report came out, oh, it's mandatory, you gotta wear them in Walmart. Then people, they think you gotta wear masks all the time. They don't know Walmart reversed that. It should be a personal decision, okay? They started out, they said, oh, we're just gonna have you wear masks in the hallway, passing by, and so on and so forth. Now they're saying you gotta wear a mask in the class all the time. It is a exercise of control. They're seeing how manipulable you are. They're seeing who's going to go along with it, because eventually there's going to be a vaccine. And that's the thing, is that the powers that be, they have consolidated every industry. Okay, they've got a monopoly on a monopoly on a monopoly. Okay, they've rigged the game for themselves. They control the means of production. They control the distributors. They control the retail outlets. They got it all, okay? They have such market share that they can control even the companies that they don't control, okay? And so that's what they're doing with all this, is they're seeing how far they can push, what they can get away with, and they're just gonna keep trying to implement one step to the next. And if Trump wins in November, then hopefully we can push things off and we can right the ship. There's more that has to happen than just electing Trump. Okay, it really boils down to more morals and origins. Okay, where did we come from? How did we get here? Some of the bigger, higher end questions and discussions. Okay, the Western Enlightenment, the ideals that established the Western world. Okay, and discussions about that and how that applies and what it means to live virtuously and to pursue honor, but to not be prideful in your honor. There's a lot that goes into it. That's the ultimate solution, is people have to become educated to a greater degree about eternity, the sacrifices that Christ made. Look, I'm not perfect, okay? I see all these people that are committing suicide, and I know that if I did not have perspective of the foundation of reality, and I did not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, in all my imperfections, He loves me. I screwed up yesterday. I got mad. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to live that way. But all this has just got me frustrated and angry at times. But I know that God still loves me. He's still trying to make a way for me in this life. I mean, He's got it laid out there. I'm the only one that really gets in my own way. That's the same for all of us. God's laid it out there. We just get in our own way a lot of times. But I see these people, especially young people, committing suicide. They don't have perspective of anything greater. And this right here, this sucks. This social distancing, social isolation, we all feed off of each other's energy. That's really what it is. I mean, the Spirit of God, it's an essence, it's an energy that He sent from the eternal into this realm. And He sent a message through the prophets of old, and then through His Son, Jesus Christ, and anybody that is willing to pick up their cross and follow after Him. And hey, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm trying to follow Him, but my line is wavy, okay? I'm a human being. I've lived in America my whole life. We've all been manipulated to one degree or another. And just because I'm imperfect, that doesn't mean the standard is imperfect. Okay? But if we don't choose to pursue that path and that line of energy that God has established and that He's written into the universe, okay, that He's done something on this earth too. I swear, I think the earth can feed off the energy of humanity. And when it grumbles and it gives signs, that's just a warning telling us, hey, we got wacky weather, we got earthquakes, we got crazy things going on. Humanity needs to make some changes. That's the ultimate changes. But in the short term, we can send a really strong, clear message. If your kids refuse to wear masks, like, make it a pain in the rear for the schools. Refuse. If you got a big school and you can get 2/3 of the student body population that just absolutely refuses to wear a mask, they can't expel all of you. You can make huge problems for people if you will just refuse to comply with arbitrary, unnecessary rules. Okay? And if you're a teacher, get with other teachers, talk with each other. Okay? I'm the only one in a big school that's wearing a face shield. Everybody else is wearing their masks, and they don't really, I don't know if it's that they don't think that it's a big deal, or they don't know. I don't know what the deal is with some of them, okay? I talked to some of them I know they're not okay with it, but they just go along with it because everybody else is. Okay, everybody's wearing it. I'm the only one that's not wearing a dadgum mask. And you know what? Like, I'm not one that's just gonna follow along, get along little doggy, okay? I'm gonna do what I feel like I wanna do. It's just how I am. I'm a stubborn individual in a lot of ways. But at the same point in time, I'll be an outsider. It bothers me because we all want to get along. We all want good things. We all want to get along well with others. But I see the bigger picture. And some people, well, why do you know, how do you know that you're right? Well, what makes you right? And what started looking into all this 2007. Friend brought a documentary to my house, changed the course and direction of my life, started digging. I've read a lot. I'm not an idiot, okay? I may have ADHD, I may sound like a hillbilly, but I'm low-end Mensa, y'all. I don't really like Mensa, but I am for real. I would qualify as low-end Mensa. So that's kind of a joke that I play on myself. But anyway, man, like, I've been looking at all this, and it just makes sense. You got people that, for generations, legacy has been a big thing to them, being able to carry out these older plans. And they've just, from one generation to the next, they've just compiled resources and assets and capital so that they could gain more leverage, more power as time passed on. These people do not love God. They do not love the values that God has told us to live by. And as you increase in wealth and power and status, and you don't have a relationship with God, and you don't have positioning on the foundation of reality, there's almost no end to, my pool's gross. My wife said she wanted it. I told her, I said, it's gonna be your baby, okay? And that's her baby. That's how she's handled it. I do the garden, y'all. I do the chickens, all that stuff. I couldn't keep up with the pool too. So, but anyway, yeah, they have not had, they don't respect God. They don't respect His principles, and they don't have to answer to anybody. And so, you know, at a certain point in time, when you don't have that, you're not tethered to that foundation of reality like most people are, you're going to do some evil things. You're going to put profit over people. And it's just varying levels to all of this. Everybody don't know what they're doing. It's compartmentalized. Left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. Okay. But us here, just the everyday person that loves God, that believes in Jesus, that's just trying to go along, to get along, to do a good job with their life, and to make something honorable to pass on to the next generation, and feel like you've done a good job living your life. We've got to stand up in more ways. We can't just like let them pull the wool over our eyes and go along to get along anymore. We've got to stand up, educate ourselves, be willing to make some changes. I mean, I'm in a situation right now where if they said wear a mask, I will tell them no. If you don't like it, you can fire me. That's really how I feel about it. And hey, that would make things hard for us financially. Talk to my wife about it, and that's what we're prepared to do. If that's what we got to do to be able to make a stand, and I will be a super thorn in the side of the Department of Education if that happened, because that'd free up some of my time. And I wish I had more time to be able to do more stuff, but hey, I mean, it's hard to be able to start your own organization while you're still trying to handle a regular job and raise your family and do everything that you got to do. But I encourage people to stand up in little ways. Have a backbone. Let your spirit of patriotism resound. Make a loud noise. Groups of you. Talk with each other. If you got kids and you're about to send them to school, have them get with their friends. Talk with their parents. You guys got to start pressing the conversation forward. You got to educate yourself on origins and morality, the historical aspect of Christianity that's not just in the Bible, the extra biblical historical side of it, the unfolding of history, how it all came to be, I strongly encourage you look into it all. The account of Tacitus, all the way up, you got the correspondence of Pliny the Younger and the Emperor Trajan. And you go on, you've got when Christianity became the official religion of Rome, all the way to Muhammad and Islam and Bede. It's a very interesting story, and all the information is there, and you got to bring that to the table, because look, if godly values don't win, we're going to go to ungodly values, and I'm telling you, that's an ugly place that humanity could go, and I don't want to see that happen. Y'all have a good one. God bless.